Hi there. Well, today we have the funniest story called Diary of a Worm by Doreen Cronin. And I think it's so funny. Every time I read this, I just have to laugh. But I started thinking about it today. I go, worms, they're so interesting. And so I brought some worms to look at up close today. And I also thought about, well, a diary, that's an interesting subject too. So I got a whole, went to the fishing store and I bought some worms and I am going to dump them out here on my paper plate and then I'm going to change the camera and I want to take a look at them up close. Oh, they're lost. Oh, here we go. There's one. There's two. Whoa, I love playing with worms. And now this time of year, when it rains, you can go out on the sidewalk or go out on the road and kind of find some that came out of the ground because they don't like to get too soggy underground. And so there we go. Let's change the camera and take a look at some worms. Diary of a Worm. It's going to be a great story and so silly. There we go. And they're wiggling around. They're wiggling around and they're all kind of covered with dirt. So I'm going to take and spray some water on the worms so I can see them a little better. They're trying to escape my paper plate. All right, they like a little bit of moisture. Whoa, they're trying to escape my paper plate. There. Yeah, I like just the way they move and I like the way they look. And I like trying to figure out which one is their head and which one is their tail. It's so funny to try to see. But they are kind of slimy too. Long and skinny. Now I've got a big worm there. These guys are really active. Whoa. Whoa, look at them wiggle. Isn't that fun? Uh-oh, one's trying to go off my paper plate. Don't do it. This guy, he's just sleeping, although he's moving a little. Oh, there's two of them there. Look at that. So worms, they love to live in the dirt. They eat a lot of garbage and dead leaves and things like that. And when you can go outside and find where they've come to the surface and pooped a little bit. It's called worm castings, and they eat a lot of the dead things and decompose them, and it also becomes dirt. Whoa, there's a good shot of a crazy worm. There we go. All right, so the worms can listen to this story today too. What do you think? I think so. All right, I'm going to put my live worms back in their little container so I don't lose them in my den. And I want to talk a little bit about a diary, because that is such a funny thing. A diary of a worm. That's our story today. What's that all about? What is a diary? Well, I've got some silly fake worms over here, and I wanted to show you those. Like I said, I went to the fishing store and I bought some fake worms. So I'm going to pretend that these worms are talking to me and telling me all about what they're doing today. So I've got, oh gosh, I have a whole bunch of them, and each one of them has done something special. And a diary is something where you keep a record of what's happening. You can make a diary of yourself. I got a little notebook here. You could draw pictures or write things that you want to remember in it. Or if you were looking at a worm, if you had a pet worm, you might write down in your diary, my worm wiggled around a lot today, just like ours did on the paper plate. Or if you wanted to be really silly, like our book, you could think about something fun. So let's see, this first worm that I've got here, let's see, what did he say? Oh, he wants me to write down in my diary, right here, my notebook, that he was hiding under a yellow rock. I painted this rock a little bit to put in my garden for some decoration. And so the worm wanted me to say that His home is under a yellow rock. So there he is. So I could write today's date, which is May 13th, I think. And May 13th, I found a worm under his home, the yellow rock. Okay. All right. And so I found another one. Okay. And this worm decided to go visit his friend, the worm under the yellow rock. So I could write that. Now there are 2 worms under the yellow rock because his friend wanted to visit. You can make up all kinds of stories. Oh, here's one. Uh-oh, guess what? Here comes a bird. Here comes my worm. Oh no, guess what birds like to eat? Worms. Uh-oh, no. Oh dear. One of my worms got eaten by a crow. Oh no, but that's what birds do. In fact, lots of robins I watch out on my yard eating lots of worms, except not the fake ones. No. Oh, let's see. Let's do one more before we do our story. Let's see. What would this worm want me to write about? Oh, this worm found a birthday cake. Whoa, and decided to eat the whole thing. Yum. I have a little cake here. It's a fake cake. Fake worm, fake cake. But yep, and I could write that down in my diary. One worm found a cake and tried to eat the whole thing. So a diary is writing down some things about you or something you're watching to see the things that you remember. And then you can read them later. Make up little stories. You could draw pictures. It's fun to make a diary. And if you don't have a notebook, you can always make your own diary out of a piece of paper. This is just a piece of copy machine paper. And you just fold it like a book. You could draw pictures on there, write stories about worms or stories about yourself. Then you have a diary. It's very cool. So it's time for our story after all of these crazy fake worms and real worms. So I'm going to set my book up over here past my little rock and turn on the overhead camera so you can see the pictures really good. Whoops. Hold on. Clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, there's our book today. And I'm going to adjust it a little bit so you can see it. There we go. Okay. Diary of a Worm by Doreen Cronin. And when I opened up the book, this worm decided to put some pictures in its diary. And oh, I love these pictures. There's one. Spider made this web for me. Look, he spelled out the word worm. Oh, and there's the worm's report card. He got an A in tunneling. He got a B+ in dirt and a B- in history. And he made some compost, pass, and squirming pass. That's funny, a report card. This worm, I think, goes to school. Oh, and there's a baby picture of the worm and his dad. And there's the first day of school. What else did he put in here? Oh, his friend Spider. Let's see. Oh, there's the worm that wrote the diary. He made his first tunnel. And there is and his family vacation. That's to do. The diary of a worm. That's where he lives. Look at that. That'd be a great place to live. If you were small, you could shrink yourself down, and all of those grasses and flowers and bugs would look so big. There we go. Okay. So this is a diary. So it always says what day it is. And this one happened on March 20th. And this is what the worm wrote. Mom says there are 3 things that I should remember. There he is. The earth gives us everything we need. Oh, there it is. That's where we live. We live on this whole earth with worms. Hey, I wonder if that's why they call them earthworms. What do you think? I think so. Okay. Oh, so there are 3 things. 1, earth gives us everything we need. 2, when we dig tunnels, we help take care of the earth. There he is, tunneling through the dirt. must make tunnel to help Earth breathe. Ooh, that is true. Okay, and number 3, never bother Daddy when he's eating the newspaper. There's his dad. Oops, there's his dad. There's the worm. The dad is eating the newspaper instead of reading the newspaper. Well, worms can eat paper and dead leaves and all kinds of things. Let's see. Okay, March 29th. Today I tried to teach Spider how to dig. Okay, there's the worm's back end. He's digging down in the dirt. And the spider looks a little confused, if you ask me. First of all, his legs got stuck. I think I've twisted one of my ankles, said Spider. Oh no, they're down in the dirt. He can't do it. Oh, then Spider swallowed a bunch of dirt. And the little worm says, I give up. I can't teach Spider how to dig. Tomorrow, he's going to teach me how to walk upside down. So Worm tried to teach Spider how to dig. Spider's going to try to teach Worm how to walk upside down. Let's see what happens. Oh, March 30th. Worms cannot walk upside down. Oh no, that looks like a big tall tree. There's Spider up here. Oh my goodness, and it looks like Worm is falling down, but Spider quickly spun a web and caught him. That was nice. He didn't have to fall out of that tree, but he found out he can't really walk upside down. Uh-oh. April 4th. Oh, look at this. Fishing season started today, and we all dug deeper. Whoa, let's make sure you can see that picture. Look at that. Uh-oh, somebody was digging into the dirt to find some worms to use for fishing bait. And there's the worm family in their house and in their tunnel. And it says, did you guys hear something? Because they could probably hear the shovel digging down. Uh-oh, and there's Grandpa sleeping, Grandpa Worm over here. Oh my goodness. They had to dig deeper so they didn't get caught and used for fishing bait. Oh no. April 10th, it rained all night and the ground was soaked. We spent the entire day on the sidewalk. Hopscotch is a very dangerous game. Look, they're afraid. They're out there on the sidewalk and there's a little girl jumping around on the sidewalk. Ah, don't squish me. Oh, yep. When it rains, the worms come out. April 15th. Oh, we went to school, it looks like. I forgot my lunch today and I got so hungry, I ate my homework. Oh, there he is, eating his homework right there. Uh-oh, that looks like his teacher. She's going, don't eat your homework. My teacher made me write, I will not eat my homework. She made me write it 10 times. When I was finished, I ate that too. I will not eat my homework. 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 And that paper has chomping marks on it. Oh man, poor worm. April 20th. Oh, there's some kids playing on the sidewalk. I snuck up on some kids in the park today. They didn't hear me coming. There he is. He's so tiny. Look, there's the marbles they were playing. I wiggled right between them and they all screamed, ah, it's a worm. Oh, I guess they didn't like worms too much. I love it when they do that. Looks like they ran away. Oh no, that's funny. A little worm making all the kids scream and run away. Oh my goodness. May 1st. There's Grandpa. Grandpa taught us that good manners are very important. So today I said good morning to the first ant that I saw. Good morning. He's being polite and saying good morning to everyone. There were 600 more of those ants in line. Uh-oh, I think he tried to say good morning to all of them. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing? Good morning, nice to see you. Howdy, good morning. I stood there all day. All day talking to the ants. Oh my goodness. May 8th. I had the worst nightmare last night. Oh, giant birds playing hopscotch. I guess he had a really bad dream. Look at those big feet on a bird. Mom says I have to stop eating so much garbage right before I go to bed. Ooh, there's a little worm bed. Boy, I'm glad his dream didn't really actually eat him. A giant worm playing hopscotch. I mean, giant bird playing hopscotch. Whoa, May 15th. I got into a fight with my friend Spider today. He told me that you need legs to be cool. Then he ran. I couldn't keep up with him. Maybe he's right. What do you think? Do you think it's faster to crawl or faster to run with legs? Okay, so the next day, May 16th, I made Spider laugh so hard he fell out of his tree. Who needs legs? I wonder how he made Spider laugh. Oh, it looks like he has a funny hat with an arrow on it. Well, that's what I think. So even Spider with legs couldn't hang on. They were good for running, but they weren't good for hanging on to his tree when he was laughing so hard. Oh, that's funny. May 28th. Last night I went to the school dance. Well, there's lots of other worms there that he goes to school with all his friends. Oh, you know what they were doing? They were singing the hokey pokey. That was the dance that they were doing. I wonder if you know the hokey pokey. Let's see. Let's sing it. Let's see how far the worms get. You put your head in, you put your head out. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself about. That's all we could do. That's about right. So if you don't have any legs, so you can't sing the next verse, you put your right hand, and they don't have any hands or arms, so they can't put their right hand in or their right arm out. They can only do their head. Well, they could probably put their tail in, but then they might get confused which one is which. You put your tail in, you put your tail out. Well, they weren't very good at hokey pokey, but I think they were having fun at the dance. June 5th. Today we made macaroni necklaces in art class. Look at that. I brought mine home and we ate it for dinner. And his dad said, "Oh, you're very talented. Look at them munching on that piece of macaroni. Macaroni necklaces, you can string them." They just crawled right through them. June 15th. My older sister thinks she's so pretty. I told her no matter how much time she spends looking in the mirror, her face will always look like her rear end. Kinda. What do you think? Even though I turned it around both ways, it's really hard to tell. Spider thought that was really funny, but my mom did not. Oh, she got mad at him for teasing his little sister. Oh, yeah. July 4th. When I grow up, I want to be a Secret Service agent. Spider says I will have to be very careful because the president might step on me by mistake. Ooh, big feet. It's a dangerous job, I told him, but somebody's got to do it. Protecting the president. There we go. Oh, July 28th. That looks like a big giant piece of bubble gum. I wonder what's up with that. July 28th. 3 things I don't like about being a worm. I can't chew gum. Aw, poor worm. He wanted to chew some bubble gum. Blow bubbles. Oh, and number 2 that I don't like about being a worm, I can't have a dog. Oh, rats. He's asking his mom, "Can we keep him?" And she's going, no, that dog might even eat him. I don't know. And number 3 thing that I don't like about being a worm, all the homework that I have to do. Well, if you're a worm that goes to school, you got to do some homework. Here we go. July 29th. 3 good things about being a worm. I never have to go to the dentist. There's the dentist looking at the little worm with his magnifying glass. No cavities, no teeth either. That's right. Worms don't have any teeth. Number 2, I never get in trouble for tracking mud into the house. Oh, that's right. Do you remember how much mud was on those worms that we were looking at? lots and lots of mud. Well, they don't get in trouble for tracking worms into the place where they or tracking mud into the place where they live because they just crawl through it. And the number 3 thing he likes about being a worm is I never have to take a bath. And his mother hugs him and says, "Who's my grubby little boy?" Worms are kind of grubby. That's all right. That's what they're supposed to be. August 1st. It's not always easy being a worm. We're very small, and sometimes people even forget that we're here. There he is. That's his bedroom. That's where he sleeps. That's his table where he writes. But like Mom says, the earth never forgets that we're here. There's a big picture of a butterfly. Yep. There's a tunnel. Lots of tunnels in the dirt, helping make the soil much richer. Oh, some more pictures. Look at this. Let's take a look at the other pictures that the worm put in his diary. A bee stung me. Oh, look, he got all swollen. I found a really cool rock. Wait a minute, is that a rock? That looks like a baseball to me. Oh, isn't this leaf awesome? I don't think that's a leaf. That looks like a piece of a dollar bill that he was chewing. Uh-oh. Let's see, Mom and Dad's anniversary. They're kissing. How gross. Oh, look, there's a spider. Oh, he imagined he must have bought a comic book because there is a clipping from Superworm. My sister's slumber party. All her friends are sleeping there. Oh, my favorite pile of dirt. Wow. Yep. That's where Worm lives, in his favorite pile of dirt. And that is the end of our story called Diary of a Worm. So I'm going to change it back to FaceTime here. And whoops. And let's see if we can make a funny worm game. All right. So we've got a craft to do today, and it's a game. It's a can of worms game, can of worms. And so I brought an example of a kind of a can that you might use. All you need is one with a plastic lid. I've got this one, or maybe you had something like this. These are all good cans to make a can of worm game. Today we're also going to use some pipe cleaners to pretend that they're worms. We're going to need a glue stick. We're going to need some scissors and some colors of marking pens, the same color as you have for the pipe cleaners. We're going to need a hole punch. I already said scissors. And a piece of construction paper because we're going to decorate the can. And that's what we're going to do first. Let me get some of these guys out of here, get my diary out of the way. All right, so the first thing you do, you find your can, if you have a can, and you kind of measure it because we're going to use this piece of paper to wrap around the can. So I'm measuring it, and I'm going to make a little cut as I'm holding it on the size of my can so I can put it on, because I don't want my can of worms game to actually say hot chocolate on it. So there, I made a little clip, and on that little clip I'm going to fold it over, and that's where I'm going to cut. See, so it'll make it smaller. So now I'm going to cut that piece off, and I think my piece of construction paper will fit all around my can to cover up where it says hot chocolate. Ooh, almost, not quite. Well, that's all right. It's pretty good. So I think I'm going to draw a picture on my piece of construction paper to make it look like where a worm would live. So my paper is already green. I got a green marker here. I'm going to try to draw some grass on my can, but anybody could draw any picture that they want on their can. I'm just going to do grass today because that's pretty easy. There, you can see some of the grass that I'm doing. And I'm going to tape and glue this to my can so it will look like a field of grass. Now, down inside that grass, there's going to be a brown marker because worms are brown. And I'm going to draw little wiggly worms in the grass. This is just my picture of my worm home. And then because I like butterflies, I got a pink marker and I'm going to draw a little butterfly flying above the field where the worms live, just like that. See the worms? There's my butterfly. But you can do anything you want. I could draw all day because I love to do that. So now I'm going to put my picture on my can. So I got a bunch of glue and I'm going to put it on my can all up and down the side so my paper will stick to it. This is going to be a fun worm game. All right. And sticking it on just like that all the way around. Oops. So it will stick. Uh-oh. You know what? This worm game is going to have to maybe have a piece of tape on there too, or more glue. Let's see if that will work. Yeah, because my glue isn't working very well. All right. Okay. More glue, more glue, more glue, more glue. Ta-da. Okay. Ooh, that's better. Okay, now it's staying. At least for now. I sort of had to press it down really hard, but you can always put a piece of tape on it. That always works too. Okay, so there's my worm game. Okay, so now let's make the lid. So I have a lid here, and I've got several different colors of pipe cleaners, and these are going to be my worms. So how many holes do I need? I'm going to take my hole punch and punch holes all around my lid, all around the edge. You did one, kind of across from each other and all around. Lots of holes for each one of my pipe cleaners, because my pipe cleaners are going to go in my can. Whoa, so I have a circle of holes like that. Now I'm going to take my markers, and for each one of the colors of pipe cleaners, I'm going to take my marker and draw a little bit of red around that hole. A red one, and an orange one. Oh, the orange one doesn't show up very well. Kind of looks yellow. All right, but I'll remember. A yellow one. I wonder if yellow will look a whole lot like orange. Oh no, it's a little different. So I'm just coloring the different colors around my holes for each one of my worms. Okay, whoops, that came off. All right, so I got green. Ooh, that one shows up really good. Okay, and then I got blue. It's a kind of rainbow colors, but you can just do the ones that you have. And I got purple. Oh, purple isn't showing up. Maybe I won't do purple. Well, it sort of is. I got crazy markers. What color am I missing? Oh, black and brown. Black and brown and pink. And, oh, black shows up good. At least my black shows up good. So I'm drawing colors around each one of my holes. And I might have some extra holes. There's the pink one. See, it's getting very colorful. This is going to be a good game. Now I did every one but brown. There's my brown marker. Okay. And so I got brown. And, oh, I'm going to do another blue and another red, because they show up really good. And then I'll show you how to play this game with my pipe cleaners. Okay, there we go. A whole bunch of colors around each one of the holes. One for each color of pipe cleaner that I have. All right, oh, my paper just fell off again. I'm gonna put the lid on my can. Maybe that will help hold my paper on. There we go. There, put the lid on the can. Now it's time to, whoa. There you go. Now it's time to make some worms. So I have a pipe cleaner and I have some scissors and I'm gonna cut my pipe cleaner in half. Now I have 2 worms and you can zigzag them a little bit and then you sing. I'm gonna grab 2 red worms and they're kind of wiggly. So there they are. And I'm gonna do maybe, let's see, I'm gonna do a green one. I don't have to do them all right now because that would take a long time, but I just cut 2 of my big long pipe cleaners in half and made them into worms. And then you sing the song. Okay, you pick out the color that you want. And so I'm going to do green. And so like the book, we're going to do the hokey pokey. You put your green worm in, you put your green worm out, you put your green worm in, and you shake it all about. Yep. Yeah, do the hokey pokey and you turn your can around. That's what it's all about. So now you got a green worm in the can. And so now when you turn your can around, the next color is almost directly opposite you. So now that one's yellow. So I'm going to do my yellow worm. So, and you just keep singing and putting worms in the can. Okay, you put your yellow worm in. Ah! You take your yellow worm out, you put your yellow worm in, and you shake it all about. Whoa! You do the hokey pokey and you turn your can around. That's what it's all about. Okay, so now the red is right in front of me, so I'm going to do that. You put your red worm in, you take your red worm out, you put your red worm in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn your can around. That's what it's all about. So you do all of that with your different kinds of worms. And then when you get done, you have a whole can of worms and you can start again. So it's kind of a fun game. And it's kind of fun to sing along too. All right, so that's it for story time today. Hope you had fun making a can of worm game. You can add a whole lot more things to your picture and some tape if your label is falling off. And hope you enjoyed our story, our silly story about a diary of a worm. And hope you can make up some stories of your own. Thank you. Bye. Something I had never ever seen before. And here's where you get to make a choice. Was it a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex? And I'm just gonna stick some pine cones in my box and then the fun starts. I just start rolling them around. Air rushing out of the balloon is going to push that balloon up. So let's see what happens. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. So that's how rockets kind of work. We are going to build 2 different kinds of rockets today.